Episode 14, Network Marketing Mindset Podcast. This is Deb Erickson, and I have another interview with one of my A-teamers, Peggy Smith.
Welcome to the Network Marketing Mindset Podcast, where you'll learn how to transform your mindset and achieve massive success in your network marketing business. Here's your host, business mindset coach, Deb Erickson.
Hey, it's Deb Erickson, and I am so excited you are here. I want to welcome you back to our network marketing podcast for women. And we're going to talk mindset. We're going to talk mindset with, I think, one of the industry's leaders, one of the women who has been around the industry long enough to see the trends, the changes. She is not only a leader in her company, but she is a leader across the board. In other words, she would be a recognized name. And so we're going to get a little chance to rub shoulders with another one of my A-teamers. And you remember, I classify somebody as an A-teamer, meaning that if I was still in the industry, this is a woman I would go recruit. And I put her on my A-team, my varsity team. And I want you to meet her today because I think she's going to radically change your mindset, and especially your mindset around maybe things that you don't even realize you may not have the best mindset around. So let me bring her in. Peggy, I'm going to bring you and put you split screen so everybody can see you. There you are. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fabulous. So great to be here.
Good. But I want to tell everybody a little bit more about you, because you are truly an extraordinary leader. So you started your career in Tupperware. 26 years, you were 26 years in Tupperware, right?
Yes, I was.
And I'm going to have you tell some stories about Tupperware in a minute. But I want to go on because while Tupperware was amazing, and I know you got a lot of experience there, you are now with doTERRA. And you have been, if I get my numbers right, you have been in doTERRA 9 years. You are a U.S. founder, which means you were in doTERRA from the beginning. I mean, you jumped in when it wasn't much yet, correct? And but you had to qualify to be a U.S. founder. So that means that you stood out in a crowd even early on. Now you are a blue diamond, puts you in the top probably 0.1% of the company. I'll let you talk about figures and income and all of that. But tell me the journey. Can you kind of give us the journey from when you started? Where were you mentally, emotionally, and where are you now?
Okay, yes. Well, I started in Tupperware when I was 22. And, you know, when you become a manager in Tupperware, they give you a new car. And Dave and I were newly married, and we were in the service, poorest church vows, and I was going to get that car, and so that's why I joined. But let me tell you, I was horrible. I looked like I was 16. I just struggled with people taking me serious. I could recruit everyone, but I couldn't keep them. I just had a lot of struggles. But once we moved to Colorado, I did have some ladies pull me aside and say, hey, we're going to show you what you're doing wrong. And they did, and it was fabulous. And I appreciate those ladies so much. But one thing that happened early on, when I went to high school, I used to work at a restaurant in between classes. And this group would always come in every Thursday, and I would wait on them. And they were the funnest people, and they always wanted Peggy's table. And there was always 10 or 12. And so that's all good. So I get married, I move away, a couple of years go by, I get transferred into this new doTERRA Tupperware place, and lo and behold, it's these people that I always waited on.
Wow.
And I was excited, but then I was mad because I'm like, what the heck? Why didn't they ever ask me to have a party, number one, or to join their business? Mm-hmm. And so huge learning thing. And so I learned to ask everyone, and that's what I did. I became very successful very quickly. I asked everyone, and I did know what to do with them. And I did become a top leader for several years in the nation. And we heard every week, you heard where you placed. And I was right up there. So it was a wonderful beginning, and I loved it. I got tired of it. I got out of it after 26 years. I had a grandbaby. I wanted to stay home with her. But then some friends asked me to join another company, and I worked with them, and that was great for 8 years. And then it closed, and then I'm 55 years old, and I'm out of a job. And my husband has retired early, and we just bought a new home. And God tells me to join this oil company. And I'm like, no way. No way. I do not want to do that. I can't.
Yeah.
So, and literally, you're right. I did become a U.S. founder, but I only had 1 month to qualify, where everyone else had a whole year. And we didn't have catalogs. We didn't even have product practically. And labels and stuff like that. But I did become a U.S. founder and requalified for that. And that's a huge thing, because that is 1% of the company revenue every year.
Wow.
And I have to tell you, the coolest thing, Deb, is that it comes on my birthday.
Oh.
So I know I'm in the right place at the right time. And I wanted a company that I could serve women and people and make a difference in their lives. Something that was easy. There's no big boxes to lug around or anything. I wanted something easier, obviously, as I got older. But the things that I learned in Tupperware, the motto that I learned was, build the people and they will build the business. And I have always used that. And so I built my doTERRA team with relationships and being out in the field. And I'm very blessed with our team today.
I'm taking notes because this is good.
Well, you're sweet. But, when you can change other people's lives,
right?
And at the end of the day, you can feel really good about that. When it's all about you, I don't think that's always the best. Because,
I agree.
I could be anything I want to be, but I just want to be a servant. And I want to help people.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you a question, because you made a statement and I want you to go back to it for a second. You said I was in the right place at the right time. But that's only a piece of the equation. As you know, it's like you have to be in the right place at the right time and you have to take the right action. And one thing about you is you have always, and I hear what you're saying, is that you took the right action, but it was in building your people, building relationships, right? But beyond building relationships, what are the other key components to your success? The things that you focused on? You did the party plan, and in doTERRA you've done face-to-face, right? It's not quite the same kind of a party plan, but similar. Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about doing the right work.
Okay. Well, the good thing was that I knew how to do classes.
Right.
And my friends knew how to do classes. So right away, we started holding doTERRA classes. And after the first year, I started going and traveling all over the States and doing taprooting. And taprooting is when it's my definition, is you look down in your team, in your downline, and you see who is performing and who really doesn't have someone above them helping them or knows what to do. So for 2.5 years, I traveled every week to another location and spent 3 or 4 days with groups of people. And this is how I have built my business. My husband, who is retired, he actually even got a job at Delta to work in baggage so that I could fly free in those early years.
Wow.
Because, it's expensive to go fly somewhere every week. But
Yeah.
this is how I started. And every week on Tuesday, I literally would have people into my home. We would watch on the TV, the PowerPoint. It was very easy.
Yeah.
Product,
Yeah.
take a break for 10 minutes and then 30 minutes business, because I led with the product, but I didn't let them at the door until they saw the business, because I wanted people to get debt free. God wants us to be debt free. He wants us to live in joy and happiness and to be able to help other people. But if we're in debt, we can't do that.
So was that kind of like a higher mission or calling for you to create financial freedom? Is that really what drove you?
It really was, because, we needed the income. And once I found out my company was closing and I got that dreaded phone call and everybody was crying on the phone, I just went to my spa room and thought, well, I'm just going to pray about it. And that was when, God told me, do the oils. And I'm like, oh, no way. But I'm glad I did. But the reason, it wasn't evident in the beginning. In the beginning, it was to pay our bills. But then it became very evident that it was to help other people.
Yeah.
And so many people out of debt, and
I hear that.
Orphanages, and helping and serving. And so I'm very proud of the team.
Yeah.
And what we are all doing.
Yeah. The thing is, I think so many people say to me, they'll watch one of our podcasts and they're like, it seems like if you just get in early, you can ride the wave. And so the false thinking is that it's a position, success is a position, and that people who got in early are the lucky ones. And yet when I hear your story, what I hear is dedication and service and commitment, and a repetitive pattern. Every week you travel to support another leader. I mean, what I'm hearing is not even close to you got lucky with a position.
Well, and these were not even leaders that I was going to. These are house moms that I called and said, hey, I'm coming to your area, get some people together.
Yeah.
And I would go maybe to their place 3 and 4 times over a year's time. And then all of a sudden, after the second meeting, they are learning, they're duplicating, and then I come back and they're duplicating again. And
right.
Those people now are the top people in our company.
Wow. So let's stay with that, because that's a really important thing. There are so many people that come into the industry and they're like, it's numbers, and just go get leaders and get them from other companies and recruit them away. And you have a very different philosophy from going after leaders. And so can you talk a little bit about that? Because I think it's brilliant.
Well, I don't think, now there are some people that are born leaders, but they're very far and few. But on my team, we found that we were all just regular people and with love and with vision and help and really crucial conversations, lots of work and duplication. These people are team leaders.
Yeah.
And so I find that that's better, because when you have a leader come from another company, they're already set in their ways. They have their mindset. They're going to do it their way. I don't care what you say. And I'm just like, okay, I don't need you. Okay.
Yeah.
I would rather have someone who doesn't have a clue, because then I can teach them the way to be successful if they choose that. But people are not just hanging out ready.
Yeah.
Everybody can become what we love them into.
I agree. So what would be the qualities that you would look for in a person as you're interacting? And I get it that you're sharing it with everyone, but there's certain things that when you see it, you know this is something special. So what would be those characteristics that would excite you the most in people?
Well, one of them is that they want to listen to what I say instead of doing all the talking. And I've learned to say, tell me what you would like to know. Tell me what you know and what you would like to know.
That's good.
Some people prior to me coming to interview them, and I do like to have it like an interview because then it's more like a job. All right. And so for the gals that say, oh, well, I looked doTERRA up online and oh my gosh, it's an amazing company. And you're actually in the back office, you're one of their leaders. And I'm like, I'm really glad to hear you say that because that shows me that you care and that that's one of the expectations our team really likes to have.
Our team, I like that.
We have to have expectations.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll say, do you mind if I take notes? I'd like to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. And they sit up a little higher sometimes. And I remember one gal told me, she goes, well, this isn't like a job. And I go, no, this is a job. It's a multi-million-dollar job if you want it.
Right. Wow.
I need lots of users, but I'm also hiring for management. And so, you've got some great skills here. Why would you not want to have a higher end management position?
That's powerful. That's really powerful. I like it.
When you interview people and have an expectation, they look at it different.
Yes.
I let people walk away and I don't care. 1 or 10 people, 100 people isn't going to make or break me. But I want them to understand how I work. Everybody works differently. I am totally different than most people.
I get it. But you said something really important. You said, I don't care if they walk away, 1 person, 10 people, 100 people. So there's an awful lot of women who are in our industry who feel they're a little on the desperate side, like I have to find somebody or I have to convince this one. There aren't very many, I can't find them. And so what I see happen so many times is that they see a prospect and they want to convert them, right? They want to twist it and manipulate it and attract and whatever it takes to get that person to say yes. I don't hear any of that in you. So what is the mindset that helped you shift that?
Well, that approach doesn't work because the people feel it. But I think, you know what, early on, my dad, I had the best relationship with my dad. And he always told me, he goes, you can do anything you want and you are the best at everything. And I believe that.
Yeah.
And so, I had a hard time. I had a lot of rejection. I had a lot of crap in high school because I had buck teeth and we were poor and all this crap. And so people do pick on you, but he always told me, he says, you are going to be great. You are, you're the best at what you do. And of course I had the opposite with my mom, but he believed in me and he always made me feel like I could do it. And my husband is very supportive. He's like my cheerleader. And he would help me with my mindset. I would tell him something and he would say, well, let's look at the other side. And this is a good thing, and he would show me that. So I think it's really helpful to have someone to confide in, to help you get back on track. And that was my dad for so many years, and now it's my husband and
wow.
my teammates, my fellow leaders that we've become.
Yeah. So I got to ask you this question here because it's you just kind of set it up for this, but you and I were talking before we started recording about before you came into some of my classes. And so my question would be to you, if you're already successful, you're making 6 figures a month, why would you need mindset coaching? Why were you looking for some support?
Well, Deb, let me tell you. Thankfully, with my job, the income comes whether I work or not. And the last 3 years, we moved. We sold our beautiful home in Utah and moved to Colorado so that I could take care of my mom and dad. And I was able to help them. They have both passed away now, and it's been 3 years. And last year, I still was not over my dad. And I really had my 2 very close friends, Lil and Wendy, did an intervention. Said, you have to call Deb Erickson. She will get you out of this funk. And I rejected it. And I think he reached out to me. And then I kind of rejected that. But then it was like the Lord said, yeah, you better do that. And so I did. And I was so glad because when I met you, Deb, I just felt so good because I have a discernment that God has given me. And I knew immediately that you were the real deal. I knew that you knew what people needed, and you knew what I needed, and you helped me. When I did the ICAN, I started with ICAN, and oh my gosh, it was just, it was what I needed. And so I literally, and then I fell back a little bit because my mom died, and I, didn't do anything for a couple of months. And you were kind enough to say, well, we'll just start your thing over. And so I started the thing over, and it helped me get out of the funk right away because I learned the neuro tools, the brain and the amygdala and all these little things. And it's like I can change how I'm feeling by remembering, the things that I've learned from you. And I'm so grateful because I don't know, now I'm free again. It's been about 2 months, and I'm all back to where I'm
yourself.
And now I'm ready to work again.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to doing things. I mean, I kept doing things, but now I'm excited.
Right. So you know what I'm curious about? Your whole background is in face-to-face parties, connecting relationships. So do you do any of your business online?
I don't. I use Facebook for training and for my team announcements, but no, I have never signed anyone from online or tried to. I just don't want to do that. It's just not interesting to me. What I'm doing works.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that recruit on social media, and that's fine. I really feel like the relationship piece is just the most important because, I have amazing leaders, and I still have the first leaders I joined with.
Yeah.
And that in
powerful.
The industry, that isn't really.
It's not common.
No.
Yeah.
And I did give a lot of my high producers to my other leaders. I could have had 12 lines, but I have 7, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about my people.
Yeah. I can, when somebody meets you, if you ever get a chance to meet Peggy, you got to do it because you just walk into her presence and you feel it. You feel the energy, you feel the love, you can feel the relationship. And that is unusual. And you know what I love about you is that there are, there's so many ways to do this business. So there are people who do everything online. There are moms that can't get out of the home or they live rural and they're like, I need to do it social media, and they do it that way. And then there's people like you that have spent your entire career offline, really. Well, you have done it what most people would consider the hard way. So one of the things I want to ask you is, how do you, and have you through the years, how do you keep your mindset in such a place that you can get up every day and get out into the world and connect with people and build relationships, because that does consume time and energy. How do you do that?
Well, I love helping other people. So right now I have 3 people that I'm working closely with. And so it's all about the plan that we have to move them up in rank. And when I see them working and I'm out working with them, or I see the joy on their kids' faces when they, when they get to go do something fun because mom has made more money or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really about getting up and helping those other people.
Yeah.
And always the result is always something wonderful for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sit at home and do nothing. I want to be out.
Right.
I have to be out. I'm excited to travel at least twice a month.
Yeah.
And get out because I'm a people person.
Yeah.
And I thrive on that. So
Wow.
when I'm helping other people, it's just so much fun. And lately I've signed up a couple of awesome new people, and it just brings life to have new fun people.
So when you bring on a new person, what do you think is the most important thing that they can begin? Obviously product knowledge for their company, understanding their comp plan. There's some things in the business that make sense. But what about beyond that? What would you think is like the most important thing for brand new people to get engaged in?
Well, it depends on the person, but a lot of times I get people into self-development because they really need to learn because they've never sold anything before or been in the MLM business. And that's what I love about your Platinum Plus program. I can put them in there and they can start watching those modules and see if they're doing it.
Yeah.
But I think what's really important is to sit down with them and find out what they need in their family and how they're going to be ordering this and how to use it, and then getting them online, watching training, and going with me to classes.
Right.
I really like when I was in Tupperware, we always took 2 people in training, always. And I still like to take people in training because it shows them right away how easy it is.
Right.
So I think they need to understand that they're going to make money, and they're going to help other people make money. And that's how it works. And I really talk a lot about integrity.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I don't know if you know this, but if this is going to work for you, you're going to be with these people for a long time. You don't want to screw it up.
Yeah.
So the truth. Always do what you say you're going to do, and always give what you say you're going to give, because there's so many people out there that don't do that. And so, friends a long time.
Yeah. What it reminds me of, the industry is got a bad reputation for shysters and fast talkers and, all of that kind of energy. And you are so soft-spoken and you are so gentle and caring and loving. I'm just curious. I mean, this just came to me, but like, how do you close a sale? Because you're so soft and you're so caring that, people always say to me, how do I close a sale? And I'm just curious, how do you have a system you use, or what do you do?
Everything always comes from the heart, Deb. And so it's always really easy. So if I'm showing you our products and whatever, and I would say, and literally I say this, I say, Deb, if you're not ready, let's wait. And then I pause.
Yep.
And they're like, in their mind, they're going, wait, she's not.
Wait, I want to know.
But then I say, but would it be okay if I make a recommendation? Would it be okay if I made a recommendation?
That's beautiful.
And I say, look, we have 2 ways to join our company. Everybody wants to save money. So if you want to start with the customer account, that's great. Let's try it. After 90 days, we'll reevaluate. Or here's the advocate account. It's the same cost. It's everything. But that account, I can place people under you and start building your team. But if you're not ready for that, why don't we go ahead and start with the customer account? Would it be okay if we went ahead and got it right now? And they're like, yeah, that would be great.
What I love, I mean, obviously it's a sales technique, to take away, to offer and take away, but you do it with such.
But it's honest.
I know.
See, that's why I tell my girls, it's the truth. And one thing that I tell every new person is that they have to ask everyone.
Yeah.
I learned this in Tupperware. So like you're at a setting and there's all these people and the host brings out these wonderful smelling chocolate chip cookies. Okay. Are you going to offer the first person, then skip two, then offer the next one and skip two and offer? Heavens no, you're going to offer to everyone, because what happens if somebody doesn't offer me the cookie? I'm like, what the heck? What's wrong with me?
Right.
Let me say yes or no.
Yeah.
So this is what I try to teach these new girls. Don't hurt anyone's feelings by not asking, because they let anybody do this.
Wow.
So everybody gets asked.
Yeah.
And then you follow up, because the big part of it, the fortune, is in follow up.
You are brilliant. You know that, right?
No, it's just how we do
it. Here's what I love is that you've got a wonderful mix, and I'm trying to figure out a way to say this to my listeners. Peggy has this beautiful mix of the history, the experience, the practice. I bet you've presented to tens of thousands of people throughout your career, and you've offered to everyone. And you heard her earlier say, whether she works or not, the money keeps coming, which is what everybody wants. And few people ever really get there. But I want to drive down to the core here, Peggy, because it feels to me like you are a beautiful mix of a lifetime of commitment, a lifetime of practice, a lifetime of showing up, a lifetime of doing the work, a lifetime of being present, a lifetime of working on your mindset. It's like a lifetime of all of that. And you have a heart of service. And so when you come to people that way and you say, I'm doing what I'm doing because I love you, right? And by the way, I'm very well trained and I know what the heck I'm doing. And you combine those things, what happens is this: you become a Peggy. And that is extraordinary. That is absolutely extraordinary. Well, you are.
All the other women. I just do some things different.
Not even close.
Well, you're so kind.
Well, let me ask you this. If you were going to start all over again, okay, going to move to a brand new company, you weren't going to take anybody with you, what would be the top three things that you would do that if I just do these three things, I could build an empire again, right? What would you, because we have a lot of people that are brand new to network marketing that are listening. And we also have people that are new in that they haven't broken through yet, right? They love their product, but they just can't seem to get anything running. So if you had to start all over, if you had to put yourself in their shoes, what are three things you would do?
Well, I would learn how to use the product. Hopefully it would be consumable product. That's the first thing I learned. And the company would have to be residual. So those are the two things I would explain to people, and I would ask everyone. And what I would do is I would ask people's opinion. So if I was in a networking group or a mom's group or at the grocery store or whatever, I would ask people, hey, I'm thinking about joining this company and I don't know anything about it. Have you heard about it? Or I don't know, or this product or whatever. I don't know what I would say, but I would say, I would love your opinion. Do you have a minute to help me with this? People love to help people.
Right.
Women love to give their opinions. So I would ask lots of opinions, and I would have lots of events at my home inviting everyone that I know. And I would say, please don't bring your pocketbook. All I want is you. I want your opinion on something new that I'm doing. And when it's the takeaway again. And they're like, okay, but the thing is, if these people know you and they know your integrity and you've already got a track record, but I guess these people don't have a track record yet. It's easy when you have a track record because people trust you.
Right.
For brand new people, I would just be like, you know what? I'm trying this for my family. I'm wanting to make some extra money to help with our bills. And I thought of you. I would love to have your opinion. I'd love to have you look at it. What do you think? And I would just approach it like that. You never want to say, oh, well, this is the newest, greatest, blah, blah, and we're all going to get rich. Because that's yes, okay? And I found out that people react better when you say, could you use an extra $300 to $500 a month? Would that help you? I think I might have something that you might be interested in. Can we chat for 20 minutes? See, it does no good for me when people say, well, how much money do you make? I can't tell them because they can't believe it. They can't understand it.
Right.
Like, well, you know, enough to pay the bills, and it's great.
Yeah.
And so I used to say, oh, yeah, you know, I was making 10 grand in 10 months, and I was, but that just isn't doable for most people. They just can't believe that. So I like to say, you know, 300 to 500. If I'm talking to someone in a corporate position, I say, what if you could make an extra 6,000 or 7,000 in 6 to 8 months? Would you be interested? I think
so what you're doing is you're offering them a framework that's inside their own little comfort zone. Yes. So wherever they live, you're offering them a bite, you know, a sniff, come take a peek, but it's in relationship to where they are. I like that a lot.
I think that's important because people have been lied to for so long, and they've tried so many things, and they're so burned.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard. But we're a profession now, and it's, you know, it's more acceptable. But we have all these new Gen X's and XYZs and whatever they are coming up, and they think differently.
Yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So I got one last question because we're almost out of time, but this is a big one. If you were starting all over again, what's the one thing actually, let me reframe this. What's the one thing you wish you know now that you wish you had known when you started? So one thing that time and experience and abundance, your faith, all of the things that you know now, what's one thing that if you had known it at the beginning would have changed everything?
Oh, man, I don't know. Probably just to do more for people. In the beginning, you do feel like it's a race. And I think I would look at the comp plan better. I didn't understand the comp plan. It took 8 months for me to even understand it. But I think I would look at how the business works.
Right.
And how can I help people to join me? What is going to serve the people? I don't really know the answer.
Yeah. Right.
I would just trust God that He put me here, and this is where He's going to lead me. So if I just listen and stay connected, then that's what I do. Because really, in the beginning, I would just go down my list of people because I just couldn't get over how we just kept growing and just growing and growing and growing, and we went backwards. And I wasn't used to that, and so. Right. I just found myself just going down the list on my computer and just praying for all these people. And then God would tell me who to call. And it was crazy. And then I would go see these people. And they were like, why did you call me? And it was just but it all became evident. So maybe I would say to people that they need to have a relationship with the Lord and have Him lead them.
Yeah.
Because He made us for His pleasure, and He has a reason for us. And if we'll listen to what He tells us.
You know what I love too is that your faith is so genuine, like everything else.
I'm so sorry. Oh,
That's okay. That's okay.
ah,
That's all right. Thank you for taking time. This has just been an absolute delight, Peggy. I appreciate you. I love you. I feel like the blessings that you show the world are, obviously come from inside. You've got this incredible way with people. And I do believe that is a huge piece of the success that you have, is the way you care and you love and all of that. So I appreciate you. I love you very much. And thank you for sharing. Any last word you want to share?
Well, I just want you to know, Deb, that I appreciate you. You are changing people's lives all over, and your training is so good. And I'm so grateful that I have a part in it. And thank you for inviting me to be on your A team. And I'm really excited to come to the Escape to the Ordinary in December.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you and your team. All right, my dear. Love you much.
Love you. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Network Marketing Mindset Podcast with Deb Erickson. To learn more about Deb's business mindset coaching, classes, memberships, and leadership programs, visit us at ICANinstitute.com. And for free weekly tips and techniques to help you develop and grow your business, join our Facebook community today at facebook.com/groups/network marketing mindset with Deb.